Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And it's been a while, right? It's been a while since I uploaded another video, and I've been having ideas of the videos I would make. One of them being the reasons why I started a YouTube channel. And the reason why I started a YouTube channel was because if you listen to my videos carefully, you will notice that I'm not so good in my speech. So I started a YouTube channel so I could be practicing my speech especially in English, and 2 or 3 more other reasons. But then I've been thinking, what if I don't reach up to the expectations of my reasons, and I had made the video and it's out there. So that's why I've been holding back, because then yesterday I came up with the idea of making a video of my first time getting arrested, my experience of getting arrested the first time. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. So the first time I got arrested was in 2016, whereby it was one of the years where I was going through so much, like I was so depressed. And in my previous video, I talked about me getting depressed, for me being stressed and depressed for about 3.5 years. But it's been about 4 to 4.5 years, because I started getting stressed in 2013 when I met this guy whom who meant everything to me, and but he was stressing me a lot. So then in 2014 I was going through some things. 2014 and 2015 I was going through heavy things that were heavy for me to bear. That's how I got so depressed. And so I got so much depressed because I was going through these things, and there was this other person I cared so much about, and I was always there for him, and he was not there for me when I needed him. So I got so depressed. And so, and with me, when I'm stressed, I go for short walks. But that time I was depressed, so I took a very long walks, because it wasn't stress, it was depression. And Komarok, where everyone knows, I don't know, where everyone knows about. So I had taken long walks, and I got, while walking, I got into Komarok, walking there, minding my own business, just thinking. And then there was this car that was coming from the other side. Then 2 people alighted from the vehicle, the pickup, came to me and held me, like taking me to the pickup. And while I was resisting, because that year I was, right now I'm tiny, but back then I was tinier. So because I was resisting, they literally threw me into the pickup like garbage. And yeah, so we drove around arresting people for no reasons. And I don't know if they do that all the time, because in all my years, I'm this person who, okay, I never used to get afraid walking in the night. Very late in the night, you find me walking in the night when I'm stressed or depressed. But it's only last year that that fear came into me, because because of my boyfriend who got convicted last year. Not the boyfriend, another boyfriend got convicted last year, that instilled that fear in me. But before, I was so brave. I would work in the night, even when I had people like girls getting raped and robbed and killed. I never used to care. I would go in the night. So that night I was just walking and they arrested me. Then when we were driving around, they took us to the first police station. There was no cell there, so they took there. From everywhere that they had picked people, we were put into a lorry. Now we were being taken to the cell. And while we were in the lorry, now taking us to the cell, they told us if they were asking for bribes. They were telling us if maybe you have 1,000, you could give them and you would be released, or you could call someone for them to come with the money, not send the money, to come with the money and pick you up and you'd be released. So I didn't have, my phone was dead, didn't have battery, so I borrowed, and the only number I knew that was in my head was of this person that never cared about me. So I borrowed a phone and thought, this is the only person I have the number in my head. I texted him and I told him I was arrested. Probably he could help me, but I don't know. He didn't bother to reply back or call to confirm, but he just kept silent. So we were taken to the station. Then the station, I was still asked if you could call someone, they come for you, leave the money and they come for you. Now the money was getting reduced after the 1,000 people were released. Now it was for 500. Now they were asking for 500. I didn't have that money. I only had 100 shillings in my pocket, 135 shillings, so I couldn't do anything. I requested them to change for me my phone so I could text my sister. And so after my phone was got a battery, it was charged a little, I texted my sister and told her, because now I was stressed, right? I had given up. Like, this person I texted them before didn't even care about me. Now why would I even care about myself? So I had given up. So what I texted my sister was that, sis, I've been arrested, but don't worry, don't bother coming looking for me. And I didn't even tell her which cell I was taken. So we gave all our things, the few coins I had, I gave the police my phone, and they will take one shoe from us and a belt. That night, luckily, that night I had worn a dangari, jeans dangari, I don't know what they call, rampas or, yeah, and I had stocking and a long sleeved inside and a jumper, luckily, because in the cell where we were taken, or where people are taken, there's nothing to sleep on. You either sit down on the floor, ceramic, until dawn, or you sleep on the floor. So with my one shoe, I could sleep for a few hours with using my one shoe as a pillow, and with my jumper as a blanket. So yeah, and so the bad thing about the cell is that, the only bad thing is during the night when you're about to sleep, because it was so cold and you're sleeping on the floor. During the day is not that, I didn't find it stressful, because we would talk and tell stories in the cell. And the only thing that was stressful during the day is food. Like breakfast, we were given tea full of like lots of water, sugar, like it was thrown from a distance like this into the tea, and drops of milk. Like the tea was terrible, like it looked like urine, and one toast of bread. But other than that, and then lunchtime, I don't eat cabbage unless you've cooked it so well. I don't eat cabbage. I hate cabbage, like eating cabbage, I hate it. So that was for lunch, and ugali and cabbage, that's boiled cabbage. But telling the stories were nice. So my sister's phone was off in the morning. That's when she switched on her phone. Then there's this guy who's our friend, but I don't talk to him nowadays because I asked him to send me 2 of the songs they had sung with my sister, but he refused to send me. So if you think, like, he sent me 1 and there were 2. So I don't like begging. If I beg you for too long to do something for me, like, I just let you, I stopped speaking to you. I don't do that anymore. So this guy asked my sister, by the way, where is Susan? And my sister was like, I've just switched on my phone and I found this message, like she has been arrested, but I think she's at her ex-boyfriend's house. And then that guy was like, no, she's told you she's in the cell, let's go look for her. And they went looking for me into the cell. So the cell we were taken, it's close to our area, it's close to where we live. So they didn't know where they were going to look for me, but they opted to start from the cell that is close to our home. They came and went to the reception and asked if Susan Kabura was there, and yeah, she's here. Then what are the charges? Drunk and disturbance. Like, I was drunk and disturbance. And then my sister was like, oh, what? And the policeman was like, yeah, what do you think your sister is, a saint? We found her, we arrested her with a whole bottle of vodka. And my sister was like, okay, but I guess you're talking about the wrong person, because how my sister knows me is that I don't take heavy alcohol, because and one bottle of Smile of Ice would, back in the days, would get me drunk. Like, there was this time we went, like, another story, we had gone out with my sister and her friend and her friend's boyfriend and I, and I took only 1 bottle of Smile of Ice. I got drunk, and after I got drunk, I was walking like a zombie, telling my sister, like, they are holes, like, oh my god, there's such a big hole in front of me. So I was walking like a zombie. So my sister got shot, and then she said, okay, but so from the experience, she was like, I think you're talking about the wrong person, but okay, let me see her. So she was asked to give out 1,000, and they paid for 1,000. That's when they saw me. And then after I got released, the policeman was like, now here's your saint sister. And I was like, saint sister? Now, that's why I get, like, when I was in the cell, the girls there would ask me, how old are you? And I would tell them, that time I was 24 years. I would tell them I was 24, and they would say, you don't look 24, you look 18. If I were you, I would tell them I'm 16 years old. So whenever the policeman would come into the cell and ask me how old I am, I would tell them I'm 16. And why were you arrested? I don't know, but so I guess that's why they didn't buy my story of being a minor, because of what they had written on me. But I was not drunk, I was just walking around, it's trying to think, you know. So guys, that's my story, how I got arrested, my experience of me getting arrested for the first time for no reason, and then being charged for something I didn't do. And I remember in the cell they would say you have to ask someone to come for you, because if they take you to court, because it was on a weekend, if they took you to court on a Monday, they will say maybe they found you with a bag of bang. Yeah, I guess that's what they do. But anyways, I got released and I've never been arrested again, but still I still take walks. I've never learned my lesson. But no, right now I don't take long walks because I'm over depression. I'm not going through anything. I choose to let go of everything and start loving myself. So now, yeah, I love myself too deeply. No one can come between that, in between that, my love for me. Yeah. So guys, if you like that video, please like, comment down below how your experience, if you've ever been arrested, how was your experience, how did they treat you. Yeah, and share, make sure to share with your friends and subscribe. I don't know why you guys are not subscribing, but anyways, please subscribe. Till next time, bye.